Welcome back to G1 Talk Show. I am your host, Sandeep Shanker. Today in our immigration segment, we'll talk about Ontario's provincial nominee program. And to talk about this topic, we have Mr. Jagpreet Puri in the office, who is the immigration consultant with Takara. Welcome to G1 Talk Show, Mr. Puri.
Thank you, Sandeep.
Today, I have a list of questions that I'd like to ask about Ontario's PNP program. And my first question is, how can an applicant become PR of Canada through Ontario's PNP?
See, Sandeep, as immigration, situation in Canada, the federal government has the ultimate authority on immigration, but the provinces have been given some criteria they have to make, and then they can nominate people. So that is how nomination in Ontario happens.
Okay.
So they have a couple of programs where they have set their own criteria.
Okay.
And if some applicant qualifies under those programs, they can apply, they can register and then apply.
Okay.
And actually there has been misunderstanding sometimes, people don't understand. Let me explain further. There are two different kinds of Ontario nomination programs. The first is called like the point system, based on point system.
Okay.
So let's say somebody has created their Express Entry profile in Express Entry.
Okay.
Now, if they have sufficient points and if they meet the Ontario's, those programs criteria, then they can be invited. It's called notification of interest. So the Ontario government, they select or search from the Express Entry profiles.
Okay.
And they send in those notifications.
Okay.
So if somebody is interested, they will say, yes, I am interested.
Mm-hmm.
So they go ahead, and then apply for nomination to the OINP.
Okay.
So similarly, we have a program called the Ontario Skills Trade Program. So the earlier one is called the Human Capital Streams, Priority Streams.
Okay.
Now, under these programs, as I said, you have to, under the Human Capital Priority Stream, you have to have points in your Express Entry profile to get those invitations or interests of notifications. So once you get the nomination, you automatically get 600 bonus points in Express Entry.
Wow. Okay.
And once you get 600 points, you almost certain that you're going to get an invitation from the federal draw in the next draw.
Gotcha.
So that's how it happens under the point system.
Okay.
But most of the other programs, they are employer job-based programs.
Okay, so now that's where I was going with my next questions.
Right.
Now we know a little bit about the programs.
That's right, yeah.
Now, what is the international student stream? I'm sure you have something for that.
Right. So under the international student stream, this is, as I said, is a employer job offer program.
Okay.
So an international student who has completed his studies or her studies in Ontario,
Okay.
or and has a job offer from an employer. So we will talk about the requirements and the criteria of qualified employer as well.
Okay.
But if somebody has completed his education in Ontario and wants to apply under this program, they don't need any experience.
Okay.
They just need the job offer from the employer.
Okay.
They don't even need IELTS.
Okay.
They just need a job offer from a qualified employer, as I said.
Okay.
And it should be in a eligible occupation, which means we have different occupations. They are all are divided into like NOCs, 4-digit NOCs.
Okay.
So if they get job offer in NOCs O, A or B type,
Okay.
then they are eligible to apply without even experience, without an experience.
Okay, so NOCs is something to do with the employers, I presume now?
The NOCs is basically the classification of occupations. So National Occupation Classification.
Okay, perfect. Now I just want to ask you another
Sure.
question. Is which employer can support the applicants for employing job offers?
Right. Before that, let me finish off the earlier question.
Sure, sure.
Now, what happens is, the other thing is this applicant under the international student stream can apply only within 2 years of completion of their studies.
Okay.
So they can't go beyond that.
Okay.
So that's another criteria.
Okay.
Now, which employer is eligible in Ontario? So that's very important. So not all employers can support applicants for Ontario's nomination programs. Yeah. Now, the first criteria is that the employer should have been active in this business for at least 3 years.
Okay.
So they can't just open up and start, voting. No, it has to be like at least 3 years old business. At least 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other criteria now, they have divided the criteria of employer, in two parts. One is only for those who are in GTA,
okay,
and they have defined the cities which form part of GTA for this purpose.
okay,
And the other is outside GTA in Ontario. Now, for those who are within GTA, the employers must have at least 1 million of turnover, or you can say gross revenue,
I see.
in the last financial year.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
Oh, wow.
And then the other criteria is that they must have at least 5 full-time employees
Okay.
who are PR or citizens.
Oh,
So they must have that full-time, employees who are citizens or PR.
okay.
Then they can support a person.
Okay.
Now, they can do in multiples. If they have 5 people, they can support 1 person in international student stream.
Okay.
If they have 10, they can support 2 people, like that.
I see.
Yeah?
See. So for every 5
Right.
Canadian citizens, they
Or
can support
PR.
1.
Yeah.
Okay.
For those employers who are outside GTA,
Okay.
they basically need just 500,000 turnover
okay.
in the last financial year.
Okay.
And they should have at least 3 full-time employees
Okay.
who are either PR or citizens.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's very important. So if somebody wants to apply, they should first find out this thing, whether the employer is able to.
Even if they're eligible or not, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that begs the next question: is what is foreign worker stream?
So as we said, about the international student stream, the foreign worker stream is similar to that.
Okay.
So the job offer remains the same kind of, employers
Okay.
who meet those requirements. But foreign nationals, basically, you don't have to, they don't even have to be within Ontario or in, in Canada, or even in, they can be in India or anywhere else.
Okay.
Now, what happens is, the same employer, same kind of employer, again in occupation O, A and B, if they have that job offer. Now, the difference between the international student stream and foreign worker stream is that they should already have 2 years of experience in that occupation in which they are getting job offer.
Okay.
So they should already have, and this experience can be anywhere.
From back home as well.
It can be from anywhere,
Okay.
but it should be in the last 5 years.
Gotcha. Okay.
Now, for example, we bring in chefs or cooks. So let's say, they already have 2 years experience. Let's say now they are on, LMI approved work permit in Canada.
Okay.
So we can apply, under the foreign worker stream, because they get a job offer if the employer is, qualified, and even if they have just come, but they have 2 years experience from back home. So they can be eligible.
Oh, perfect. Now, another thing, lots of our community, they are involved in trucking industry. So I want to ask this question: can a truck driver apply under the Ontario PNP?
So this is really good. Since last year they have added truck driver.
Okay.
Now this is another program, but this is called, again, it's a employer job offer program. Now under that they have couple of couple of occupations.
Okay.
And they fall under NOC, as we said, C and D.
Okay.
So drivers fall under that. So normally they cannot, other than nomination under the provincial programs, the truck driver is not eligible for other express entry other programs.
Okay.
But under the Ontario program, this truck driver is called in demand skills stream. In demand skills stream.
Okay.
Under that, if somebody has worked as full-time or equivalent kind of they have experience of 9 months in Ontario.
Okay.
And again, if the employer is also qualified, we can apply for them under this stream, for nomination.
Oh, perfect.
So once they get nomination, all these, whatever we were talking, all of them, once they get nomination, then we have to apply for PR to the federal government.
Gotcha.
That's how they get PR.
Okay.
So it's very easy right now for the drivers.
Okay.
If they finish 9 months in Ontario, get a nomination like sport from employer, and we can apply for them.
Oh, Perfect. Now the next question, it's not about a very skilled industry, because I'm asking about, can a farm worker or a nursery laborer apply under the program?
Yeah, actually that's so good, you know, I mean, they have added these occupations as well.
Okay.
So basically the Ontario government wants to, you know, help employers to, you know, have their temporary employees become permanent and stay with them for longer time. That's the essence of the program, right?
Okay.
Now, if somebody is a farm worker or even a you know, fruit picker or any nursery, you know, like I mean small nurseries, you know, like who have plants and other stuff, you know, if somebody is a laborer over there, they can also become, you know, PR under this in-demand skills stream. Again, same thing, if they have 9 months of experience, full-time or equivalent, and the employer is also eligible to support them, they can apply under this program, and then, you know, once the nomination is done, we can apply for the permanent residency of Canada.
Oh, wow.
It's so good.
That's great.
Yeah,
that is great, actually. Now I'm just going to go a little bit towards COVID. With COVID, we actually need more frontline workers. So my question is, can a foreign trained nurse who has come to Canada on a student visa come under this program?
Actually, yes. So what happens is, you know, again, you know, somebody, let's say, is a nurse, you know, I mean, he or she is trying to get licensed as either RN or practical nurse in Canada, you know, and it's taking time, and, you know, they have finished their studies and now they are on postgraduate work permit. And, you know, if they are actually working again in a, like, let's say, long-term nursing home or retirement home as a nursing aide or even personal support worker kind of a thing, and the employer helps them, you know, which means supports them and is eligible as in other programs, yes, after 9 months we can apply for them.
Oh wow, that is a great news, actually.
Yeah.
Excellent news. We have like lots of people, they are like machine operators or construction trade helpers. How can they apply for this as well? Again,
you know, I mean, we had most of the people, they look at like the other, you know, skilled categories and other stuff. So let's say somebody, you know, I mean, wants to, you know, go in for a skills trade, you know, kind of thing. So they can start with, let's say, you know, for example, we did a couple of applications for people, you know, in a construction company. So this is a electrical construction company. I mean, they help in construction, like all the electrical stuff. Now they have electricians over there. So these people, they were working as their helpers, just kind of laborers, you know, with the electrician in that construction company, which is a big company. So after 9 months, they were eligible, you know, and we got the nominations.
Oh, great.
So, I mean, any kind of construction trade helper can, again, you know, come under this in-demand skills stream. For the machine operators you talked about, I mean, this is just actually brand new thing. They've just added these couple of like 13 new occupations in the in-demand skill stream recently, last month. But these 13 new occupations, they have added only for those employers who are outside GTA.
I see.
Not inside GTA. So let's say if somebody, you know, is into mechanical occupation and wants to start his job, you know, like, I mean, they might not get like in their own field, and if they start up with even as a machine operator, you know, outside GTA, then again after 9 months, you know, we can help them apply under this program, in demand skills stream of the Ontario nomination.
Seems like 9 months is the underline.
Right.
It does take
They actually reduced from 1 year to 9 months.
Oh, that's good.
To help these people.
Oh, great, great. Now, people want to ask about the time that it's going to take. So next question is, what is the average processing time for these applications? Okay. So in the point system, which we talked earlier, programs, Ontario's programs under the point system, which is, as I said, human capital priority streams. Now, under that, you know, it takes around, like, I mean, the normal average time for Ontario to finish up, it's pretty fast actually. It's between 3 to 4 months. They complete the nominations. So under those point system, you know, again, they have to, you know,
again apply for PR under the federal program, which takes 6 to 7 months again.
Okay.
So 3-4 months for nomination, and then after that they have to apply for PR, and which may take up to like say 30 or 60 days, whatever time they take. After they apply for PR under the federal system, it takes like 6 months, 7 months to become PR.
Okay.
But for the employer job offer streams, again that's a tricky thing, I mean, because these programs are becoming very popular. So when they open, they close very fast. Which it's not close, they put on pause because their quota sometimes gets filled up very fast, within hours or within minutes maybe.
Oh, wow.
So then after that they close the program, and then they open up later on.
Okay.
So the first thing is, once you register with OINP under that program, you get 14 days to apply for nomination. Now once you apply for nomination, then they, as I said, they take like 3 to 4 months, 90 to 100 days normally, to complete the nomination. Once you get nomination, you get a nomination certificate, and then after that we can apply for PR, but that's a paper-based application. Because it's paper-based, it takes around like 1 year to 1.5 years. Depends.
That takes longer then.
That's right. But the good thing is, if their work permit is going to expire, I mean, Ontario government also, when they send in the nomination certificate, they also send in a support letter for work permit. So, if their work permit is expiring, we can apply for employer-specific work permit based on that, which is pretty fast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so they won't be having any problems, I mean, once they get nominated, even if their application for PR is continuing, they can still stay here, work for that employer. That's
which
great.
Is great. Which
That's
is a great news.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, can you please share your contact information with our audience?
Yes, Sandeep. So my name is Jagpreet Puri, and I'm from Takara Immigration. My telephone number is 647-924-3393, 647-924-3393.
Thank you. So once again, Mr. Puri, I would like to thank you for coming in and giving us lots of good information on Ontario's provincial nominee program. Next week, we'll be back with another segment full of important information. Till then, stay happy and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sandeep. Thank you.